We have one of the greatest ancient banners ever in the history of Wanderer of Realms this Saturday, but should you summon on it? And actually, it is a question. As amazing as this banner is, it is in no way a no-brainer with things that may be coming. There is a lot to break down. There's a lot of math to do, so let's get right into it. If you like my content, guys, and you want to support me, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We have two of the very best legendary lords in the entire game on Raid Up this weekend, starting Saturday, June the 14th. That would be the Nightmare Legendary Lord Torodor, the big bull himself, and then my all-time favorite of all the lords, Mr. Iovar over here. I'm very lucky to have both these characters, and I can tell you from experience, both across many takeovers and progressing through the game, as well as right now as an endgame player, these guys are entirely tremendous units. There's no argument about it. I actually have both of them rated in my top 6 legendary lords. They used to be top 5, and then Nastia showed up. However, there's a pretty big argument you could still rate Torodor above Nastia. It's just crazy how good these guys are. And thus, this is a very good banner. I'm also going to do some math and tell you, if you don't have either of these lords, or you do, but you would love an extra copy of one or the other, or you're missing one and wouldn't mind a copy of the other, this is your best chance ever, full stop, in the history of Wanderer of Realms to get the Raid Up heroes. That obviously comes with a huge caveat because the banner rates sometimes feel a little bogus, but without a doubt, if the math is real and they keep insisting it is, I'm going to show it to you. You have a tremendous chance, well above a coin flip, the first legendary lord rate rarity hero you hit on this banner, it is going to be one of the two. It is pretty dang wild. So before I get into that math and I start extolling the virtues of these two, let's address the elephant in the room. In no way would I call this banner a bait, because these are super duper valuable legendary lords from the start of the game all the way up through endgame. They are top tier. However, it is potentially something that may draw your summons away from something bigger. We cannot say that definitively, but one thing we know, we only have one anniversary under our belt in the history of this game. This is only going to be the second anniversary, but last anniversary was all about special ancient summoning. It was all about big ancient Raid Up banners, and they were entirely phenomenal. We got a new unnameable, we got the first ever Praetus banner, and then we got the best legendary lord in the game. That all happened in like 5 or 6 weeks. That's a lot to wrap your head around. So as unbelievable as these two are, definitive, in my opinion, top 5, top 6 legendary lords in the entire game, some of the top heroes in the whole game, in all of Wanderer of Realms, full stop, it is possible we're getting something bigger. You know, with the Narissa and Choose a Hero banner, I made the argument, and I still am very confident, we are not going to get a better banner than that, aside from limiteds, which you should be saving for anyway. But for normal banners, I don't expect a better one. Could we get ones that are as good? Absolutely. But better, I don't know if that's possible. As amazing as this banner is, it is possible we could get something better. So let's put it into perspective. Last anniversary, we kicked things off with the first ever Valderon banner, and he was paired with Ymmerit. Ymmerit was great when he came out, but at this point in 2025, Ymmerit is a god. He is aged like the finest of wine, and that was the second unnameable, the second dragon unit ever added to the game. So that was an interesting thing. We got a dragon on launch, which obviously was the 0th anniversary on global launch. That's when we got Ajax with that OG group of characters, legendaries and legendary lords. And then the 1 year, we got Ymmerit. And then we got the all-powerful Valderon on his first ever Raid Up. Fast forward a couple weeks, we got Praetus. It was Praetus' first Raid Up banner ever. That is wild. We waited for a long time. Valderon was actually added to the game long after Praetus. Praetus was one of the OG ancient exclusive Arbiter class, chaotic class of heroes, right? When it just came out, like end of October 2023, Praetus was already right there. We did not get the Raid Up until July 2024. So here we are coming up on a year later. That's when we got it the first time. What are they going to do now? And then finally, towards the end of July, like exactly 2 weeks after Praetus, which was kind of crazy at the time, in walked, with those long legs, Ingrid, the best legendary lord in the game, the best character in the game, depending on how you look at it. You know, I'm very much team support. I'm all about Elon and Dao Chan. But when it comes to DPS and when it comes to lords, and also lords that can function not as a lord, put Ingrid as an arbiter on a Praetus team, she's the queen, right? She is the queen for a reason. She sits on that throne. She earned it. That's what happened last anniversary. So though it was only a one-off, we've only had the one anniversary, there absolutely is a precedent that they pulled out all the stops. I don't know of any rumors. I don't know of any leaks. We did just get Nastia, but I would think they're going to want to go big for the anniversary. So worst case scenario, if you do want to go on this banner, you're going to be going for like the number 3 or number 4 Lord in the game and the number 5 or 6 Lord. Maybe they get knocked down to the number 4 or 5 and the number 6 or 7. It's not like these guys are going to stop being amazing, stop being relevant. But you may be using your ancient summons and then the craziest thing shows up. And that is not hyperbolic. I've been kind of going at people in comments and in my videos saying, why not the Narissa and Numera banner, or Narissa and Elwyn, or Narissa and whatever you want to put with Narissa on the banner? It's not going to get better. I can't say that about this banner because last year during the anniversary, the ancient banners without a doubt got better. So I think we can confidently expect an Ingrid banner. We have not had an Ingrid banner since the very, very end of 2024, right around New Year's. At this point, it's been over 6 months, right? Or we're coming up on 6 months, I should say. And I think it's supremely likely we're going to get a rerun of the Ingrid Ardia banner that we had at the end of last year. So that is a prediction I would like to make now. I think that's going to come. But moreover, I cannot imagine they won't do at least one other big banner. And that's like a crazy thing to consider. So even people like me with Ingrid who might want to rest easy and potentially skip that banner, I don't know if I will, right? I've only pulled the one Ingrid and then I used 3 Soul Stones. And obviously I'd eventually love to have her A4 and then A5. But even people like me that might be less interested in that Ingrid banner, something even crazier could be coming. If I was Moonton, this is a looser prediction. Ingrid and Ardia, I'm pretty dang sure. Ingrid coming back, I'm like 100% sure, 98% sure. How could they not do it? And just because Ardia is so hype, I feel like rerunning that banner would just be easy for them. So that's why I think that's pretty dang possible. But if we actually think about it, right? They did Ajax on launch. They did Ymmerit last year. I feel like we're due for a third unnameable. And they keep getting better and better. And they keep aging incredibly well with the game. So is the third dragon coming? Like if I was them, I would do a Praetus banner and have the third unnameable on it. So I think that's all like very well within the realm of possibility. Like I don't think it's possible there's going to be a new non-limited normal pool legendary that's going to break the game in half and is going to be better than Narissa and whoever you want to pair with her. I do think it's possible we could get 1, 2, maybe even 3 ancient banners that you might regret pulling on this banner for. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't. If you need both of them, the math all checks out. So let's get into that now. I did my little calculations as I do. You can see over here, Ancient Lords, weights and rates is what I'm calling this. Essentially, assuming a flat distribution of the odds, which is what they're telling us it is now, we now have 20 Legendary Lord rate heroes in the Ancient Summoning pool. So these are our normals and our Ancient exclusives. These are the 18 Lords in the game, and then our 2 unnamables, Ajax and Ymmerit. Ajax if you're nasty. You can see if we give them all a weight of 1, because it's even, that adds up to a total weight of 20. 1 over 20 is 5%. So on a normal non-rate up ancient, if it just says ancient summoning, not any rate up, not any special thing, you have an even 1 out of 20 chance to get any of them. It's a 5% chance. However, if we're giving a rate up to 2, if 2 of these are going to have their weights multiplied by 20 and go from 1 to 20, well, wouldn't you know it, the math is really good. So if we look here, we have 20x Torodor, we have 20x Iovar. Let me actually highlight that for you. And there you go. Their weight is now 20, which is 20 times higher. Effectively, it's like they added 19 more copies to the pool, where there was 1 copy of all the other Legendary Lords and Legendary Lord rate heroes. They did 19 more of Torodor, 19 more of Iovar. They 20x'd the quantity within that selection, and then the rates go crazy. The total weight goes up to 58, so each one of them have a 20 out of 58 chance to be pulled. That comes to a 34.5% chance. That is very high, right? That's over a 1 in 3 chance. Each time you hit a Legendary Lord pity or you hit the Legendary Lord rate, it's going to be one of these 2. If you want to know the chance for it to be both, it's pretty damn simple. It's 2 times that rate, and that is a 69% chance. 69% chance. Pretty freaking awesome, right? So you're talking about basically a 7 out of 10 times, 7/10 chance you are going to hit one of those 2. So if you want both of them, this is still a home run banner. However, it was really important to me to advise you guys that actually this banner may draw your ancient summons away from something more hype. That also is like wish casting. We don't know. It's possible they run like one Ingrid rerun in a month and a half, and that's the only really interesting thing. They're probably going to run a Demi banner, right? They're buffing her, so I wouldn't be surprised if they want to do that. Demi's getting a buff. She'll be better. Is that going to be better than this banner? Unless she's paired with something outrageous, not a chance in heck, right? At least for the vast majority of accounts. So it's possible, but it also, in my opinion, is supremely possible. It's going to be amazing, like completely amazing. So do you go for this amazing banner? Make that calculation yourself. If you are not a gambler and you're not a spender, absolutely do it if you need both of these guys. If you've been saving and you want to take a slight risk and see what actually is to come and skip this one, or if you're a big spender, absolutely. If you're a big enough spender, you can go for both. Or if you're a big spender, you can make up for this later. Then you can kind of think, all right, maybe do I wait? So I hope I broke that down for you guys very well, just to take you through it. In my opinion, Torodor still is, for the vast majority of content, much better than Rygar. Not that Rygar isn't good, but he's a very good tank, Torodor, and that's just saving you a spot. You're bringing a tremendous legendary lord that is a very good tank. It opens up a spot on your roster. For a lot of things, Rygar does not do that. He can take up space on a very advanced roster outside of very specific content. Aside from that, Torodor just has tons and tons of capability. He actually can deal a little damage. He's got crowd control. He's got tankiness. He puts out the defense break. He's a pretty special guy. You can use him tons of content, certain PvP without a doubt. Some old GVG defenses, he was completely dominant. And then in PvP, he's great for progression, but he's phenomenal for bosses, right? He is the Lord of the Nightmares. Wouldn't you know it, some of the best characters in the entire game are nightmares, and he's going to be their best lord for the vast majority of things. Then we got Iovar. There are arguments, I think, that Iovar is the second best lord in the game right now. I actually think you could argue he's better than Praetus. Personally, I wouldn't do it, just looking at the grand scope of things. But with the endgame content we keep getting, it's the Iovar show. He is so much better than Araka. He's very usable, though he himself as a hero is not amazing. He's just good. But what he does for your Silas, for your Nyx, for your Hex, for your Yuri, it's at another level. I mean, with the new Gear Aid 3 stuff, with the tower, with the new campaign, with everything they keep putting out that's hard, Iovar keeps being the answer to the questions they're asking. So you can get really hyped up about him. He kind of works in every piece of content because the Piercer faction is so strong and because he is just the bomb. He's the best of the whole bunch for those Piercer lords. So there you go, guys. That is my breakdown of the whole thing. I really hope you appreciated the video. Sorry if I seemed a little tired. I am. That's why I seem it. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. today to prepare for a collab on my other channel with Hell Hades. If you're interested in checking that out, go subscribe to my other channel, Fastidious Gaming. You'll find the link in the description and the top pinned comment. Aside from that, just a lot of Watcher Realms content, a little bit of Etheria. We did our Taya tourney, which was an interesting experience. I tried to smile through it. Very silly thing. You can go watch that VOD if you want. But yeah, I really hope this answers your question. I hope it helps. If you do decide to go in and you want to spend a little, you can find my Smile 1 links in the description in the top comment. They're putting out a crazy amount of bundles right now. I know Smile 1 doesn't work for everyone, but this is the cheapest way to spend money in the game if you were already planning to spend money. There you go, guys. Share with your mother. I've been Fastidious. I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.